Yo, what's good, everybody? It's your boy SBX. I'm back. It's been a while since I made a new video. Just been dealing with some bullshit lately. But anywho, I promised you guys that I was supposed to do this video if you guys weren't aware. But this whole year, I'm gonna do my videos based on every zodiac sign, the horoscope. So if you guys are not into horoscopes, that's cool. If you want to learn about horoscopes, that's cool. But every year, not every year, but every month, I will do a video based on each zodiac signs. So my purposes of making this video is because I'm into astrology. I'm into astrology, and it's pretty much lets me understand about myself. Not only that, it's just human nature. So it's not going to be 100% accurate, but it's accurate enough to make you understand about the true perspectives about people, about yourself, and what you need to do in order to figure out who you are as a person, who you should love and who you should not love, and just, the beauty of understanding the whole mythology about each zodiac sign. Pretty much this is a Pisces week, and in the next 3 days or so, or 4, whenever, it's going to be an Aries month, which this is my month as well. I'm gonna start doing one by March the 21st, but I was born in April. But anywho, zodiac signs represents the compassion of a person, the mentality of a person, how their symbols represents the emotion, like an element, like if you watch Avatar or Captain Planet and stuff like that, everything between water, air, ground, fire, stuff like that, it represents the person's personality. If their personality is like a similarity of that type of element, like I said, I'm an Aries, and Aries are known for being a fire symbol, which is my sign is a cardinal. And fire represents passion, courage, energy, and just being so enthusiastic. A ground sign, let me get back to the fire. Like the fire sign, like besides Aries, you have Leos and Sagittarius. They are also fire signs. There's also ground signs like Tauruses, Virgos, and Capricorns. There's water types like Cancers and Pisces and Scorpios, and there's air signs like Libra and Geminis and Aquarius. So everybody has a sign. Everybody cannot be born without no sign. Everybody has to have a sign. It represents who you are. If you don't act like that zodiac sign, but you probably have certain characteristics of somebody else's sign. This was called a natal chart. It's all about how you are as a person, where you type in your name, where you was born. You got to know the specific time that you was born. It all calculates your traits of who you are. You may be an Aries or a Taurus or a Cancer, Gemini, Sagittarius, or etc. You might have some other credentials of some other zodiac sign. You might be an Aries, but you might have a soft personality, or as kind as a Cancer. You may be just chill. You may not be less angry or less nice, or stuff like that. It represents, the natal chart represents who you actually are. You can't always believe every zodiac sign that people say about Aries and Tauruses, Leos, and etc., because everybody doesn't act like a typical sign. They might be that sign, but that doesn't mean they act like it. But I don't act like a typical Aries. I only have certain characteristics about it. I do believe in being optimistic. I do have a short temper. I don't like when people fuck with me. I do fight for what's right, and and stuff like that. But I'm not a, I'm not a fighter, meaning I'm always going to kick somebody's ass. It's like there's many ways of being a fighter by an Aries, even if you are like mindset wise, dealing with obstacles and shit like that. I can say I'm a fighter by that, but not as a, you know, physical fighter. We can be though. That's the thing. Aries are just anything with fight. We love competition. But once March 21st will come out, I will talk about my sign, about my characteristics, how we act, and etc. But like I said, if you're looking for love, this is another good example on look on a zodiac sign, because not only you can find out who you are as a person, you can also find out who you're compatible with. You know, you gotta be compatible with like the same exact sign, or even if they're opposite. You know, it depends on how you are. You know, how can I say, you pretty much click. You know, you may be an Aries, but you could date like a Gemini, or maybe a Libra, or you might be a Cancer, you're going out with a Taurus, or Aries and a Taurus, and you know, etc, etc. But you know what I'm saying, everything is not going to always be accurate. So it's like, if you're a fire sign, you date other fire signs. Like if you're, like I said, if you're like an Aries or a Leo or a Sagittarius, you'll be compatible with the people who are fire sign. If you're a Taurus, you like, you know, Capricorns and Virgos, and you're a ground sign. And if you're an air like Libra and Gemini and Aquarius, you click with that. And as far as water goes, like Cancers, Pisces, and Scorpios, you click with that. But then, you know, that doesn't mean they're gonna have to still be the same, you know, people. You know, you can versatilize with, you know, other zodiac signs. But you know, you could be with the opposite, because sometimes opposites do attract. So it's all about how you can maintain a relationship with both signs, because it's like it's all about an element. How, you know, you gotta think logical terms. Like, you know, if a fire and water don't work out, it's because when it comes to water, it's always about something always fuck up the relationship, or the fire is always being fucking up the relationship. And if it's not going well, then the love will die. You know, it's all about using metaphorical thinking. That's how it is. It's very metaphorical, because it makes you understand about what person you're dealing with, who you are as a person, and what you need to be with somebody, and what you should, you know, accept to who you are, you know. And also it's like I said, you know, with zodiac signs, it's always talking about your characteristic. You might be, you know, who you are, you know, like it can talk about your good and your bad side, you know, like, you know, your good point of view and your bad point of view. Because like I said, it's all about who you are as a person. Zodiac signs never show you who's the most perfect sign in the world. There's no such thing. Everybody has a good and a bad. That's just how it is. But like I said, once March 21st hit, it's all about my sign. So anyways, people, let me know what y'all think about this topic. So comment, like, and subscribe. SBX, wrapping this shit up. Thanks for watching. Peace out.
That's all, bitches.